Do game testers really get paid to play games all day? I used to think so, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you thought the same thing. I figured game testing was going to be the easiest job in the world. Play games, find some bugs, go home, get paid. Simple. After doing this for over 10 years though, I can tell you it's nothing like most people think. Most people play games. I've spent years breaking them. Let's get into it. So, do game testers get paid to play games all day? Now obviously, I don't speak for every tester. This is just my experience after years in the industry. All this depends on what the word play means to you. Because when most people hear I'm a game tester, they picture me sitting around playing new games before everyone else, having fun all day, getting paid to enjoy my hobby, basically living a gamer's dream. Honestly, that's exactly what I thought too. Then one day a buddy of mine told me they were hiring game testers where he worked. I applied. The next day I had an interview. Part of the interview involved watching old footage from a game and finding as many bugs as possible, then writing out those bugs properly. That's actually a much bigger skill than most people realize. Finding bugs is only half the job. Communicating them clearly is just as important. I found around 12 bugs, sent them back. A few hours later they called. The next day I was in the office, and just like that I got hired onto my first AAA project. I've been gaming since the 90s. I've always considered myself a pretty good gamer, and I figured I already had a huge advantage. But within my first hour, I realized I was completely wrong. I remember being asked to test something as simple as a character attack. As a gamer, easy. Press the button, character attacks, move on, done. But as a tester, that wasn't even close. First, I had to verify the correct button triggered the attack. Then I had to verify the animation played correctly. Then I had to verify the attack actually damaged the enemy. Those are just broad examples, but you get the idea. That's when it clicked. It didn't matter how good I was at a controller. It didn't matter how many games I'd beaten. I was approaching the problem all wrong. I was thinking like a player, not a tester. Because testing isn't about knowing a character attacks when you press a button. It's about understanding why. Why does damage get applied? Why doesn't it? Why does one system behave differently after another system changes? That's when I realized this job wasn't really about playing games. It was about understanding them. Most gamers see a game. I see a giant system. And over time, something changes. You stop reacting and start predicting. You start noticing things before they become obvious. A door doesn't open, a tutorial doesn't trigger, a level refuses to end. Things that most players never think twice about suddenly jump out at you. Because one small issue can create a domino effect somewhere else. That's why understanding the systems matters just as much as finding the bug itself. At the same time, you're reading documentation, talking with developers, learning what was intended. Eventually, you stop seeing the game, you start seeing everything underneath it. I think almost any gamer could be a game tester. Seriously, it's not intelligence that stops people, it's expectations. Over the years, I've onboarded a lot of new testers. Usually they're excited, talking about mastering games, being really good at shooters, seeing games before everyone else, maybe even getting some clout. Sorry my dude, NDA is a bitch if that's what you're after. Being good at games and being good at testing games are two different skills. The people who stick around realize that pretty quickly. The people who don't, a lot of them are gone within a week. Not because they're stupid or because they aren't gamers, but because the job wasn't what they thought it was. They thought they were gonna get paid to play games. They weren't. They're getting paid to understand games, to learn systems, to repeat the same test hundreds, sometimes thousands of times. Sometimes you think you're finally done, then somebody fixes something, boom! Now you gotta test it all over again, and maybe a few more times after that. If you're okay doing something over and over and over and over and over again, you can probably do this job. If you're willing to admit that when you first start, you don't know shit, you can probably do this job. If you're willing to stop thinking like a player and start thinking like a tester, you can do this job. So after all that, do game testers get paid to play games all day? No, at least not in the way most people think. We don't get paid because we're good at games. We don't get paid to beat them. We get paid to understand them, to investigate them, to communicate the problems, and to help create better experiences for players. After doing this for more than 10 years, I can tell you those are two very different things. If you're curious about getting into game testing or you just have questions about game testing, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer all of them. Remember, I can't tell you where I've been, but I can tell you what I've learned. Have a good one, gamers, and I'll see you in the next one.